Power, Happiness and Success family, right? This video is for anyone out there who feels as though they have some addictions, some thoughts, some emotions, some behaviors that they want to change. So let's dive straight in. So really, an addiction is a compulsion. It's the feeling that you cannot stop yourself from doing things. And there's a reason why addictions exist. It's because they give you enough control, you know you're going to do something. They give you enough variety, you don't know what the effect or how much of the dosage or exactly how much to what extent you're going to do these sort of things and whom with and these sort of components, right? They might make you feel significant if it gives you some kind of reaction and attention from others. It might make you feel loved if some people appreciate what you're doing, even though it's quite detrimental, for example. Addiction for some people might be going out and drinking excessively. Really bad for you, of course. Bad for your liver, bad for your kidneys. Really horrible for essentially your entire body. Awful for your brain cells, for killing and harming your brain cells. Anyway, I digress. But you might do it if you're going out drinking with friends. It makes you feel connected, makes you feel part of a group, makes you feel united. Or if you end up drinking more than your mates and you feel significant, I can handle more drink than that guy. Do you know what I mean? This is how addictions happen over time. But in this video, I'm not just talking about actual physical addictions and harmful addictions. I'm also talking about the addictions between your thoughts and the chemicals that they produce. Because that's what happens. A thought is simply when a ton of neurons in your brain, they fire, they wire, and they organize themselves into networks. They string into place. But when this happens, our brain also produces a chemical, neurochemicals, right? And this chemical is what we know as a feeling or an emotion. So we have a certain thought. And it triggers a certain emotion. I'll give you an example. But the thing is, and then this comes back and affects your thought, and then another thought affects your emotion, then another emotion affects another thought. And this is how our brain works. Your brain doesn't switch off. I mean, you can delay and reduce how many thoughts you have per minute, and therefore reduce how many chemicals and feelings you experience per minute. You can do that naturally, like upon sleeping and before you go to bed. Is when your brain kind of slows down a little bit. You have fewer thoughts per minute. You enter alpha brainwave state or theta brainwave state or delta when you are sleeping, for example. So you do it naturally every single day. Well, hopefully you do anyways. But you can also reduce the amount of thoughts you have and have better quality thoughts by doing things like meditation. Even when you're showering or when you're listening to music, sometimes you can actually slow down or going for a calm jog, a rhythmic jog, where you get into a trance where you reduce your thoughts, and that's when your subconscious opens. Anyway, I wasn't meant to teach these sort of things, but that's an extra bonus, eh? So really what I'm talking about in this particular is the feedback loop between your thoughts and your emotions and how this can be addictive. And people use this to propel themselves to take action, whether it is to exercise. Some people need to get angry in order to go to the gym. Some people need to get calm and relaxed in order to go to the gym. Does that make sense? So really, I'll write about this profusely in my book, The Art of Power, Happiness and Success. It's called Your Emotional Home. You can get that at Amazon, by the way, or at my store, www.alexgemstore.com. And what the emotional home really is it's our default mode. It's where we live most of the time. Now, we might experience many different emotions on a daily basis, but really, this is repetitive because, we have between 60 to 70,000 thoughts every single day. 90% of these thoughts tend to be the same as the previous day, especially if you're finding yourself in the same sort of physical environments and you're doing the same sort of things. You're driving the same kind of journeys, you're seeing the same kinds of people, you're talking to the same types of people, you're traveling certain distances, you go to the certain gym, you have a bath in a certain tub, and you brush your teeth a certain way with a certain toothbrush, or do you know what I mean? The more we do things in a routine way, it triggers the same sort of patterns, the same kind of thoughts, the same kind of feelings, and therefore the same kind of behaviors. And nothing will really change in our lives unless we massively change these addictions. But the reason why people have certain connections between their thoughts, their feelings, their behaviors, and therefore their attitude over time is really because they've programmed themselves to live this way. They get certain results, and those results they use to say, this is the way I'm going to do things now on, because sometimes it works out for me, or they associate with the times when it has worked out, and they just do it more often. It's what they know. Okay, and sometimes we're just not self-reflective enough, and we find ourselves into these awful, horrendous, unhelpful patterns of having a negative thought. So let me give one for your abundance mentality. I don't feel I can change my life. I don't feel I can change much. Maybe a little bit. I don't feel I can change much in my life. That might produce a feeling, one of sadness. Now, when you feel sad, that might produce another thought that says, you know what? I hate feeling this way. I don't like myself. That produces frustration. And your frustration might trigger a new thought that now goes, you know what? I blame my parents, or I blame my siblings, or I blame my spouse, or I blame my kids, or I blame this and that. And that blame, that thought triggers another emotion, one of hatred or anger. Do you understand? This is how it works, guys. And people find themselves into neural networks. And even if that awful pattern continued, hatred is a very strong emotion, or anger is a very strong emotion. It can compel you to do an action, usually not the right action, because you're behaving out of fear. Yeah, anger is also related to fear. Anyway, so for instance, that person might then go, I blame my spouse for doing that, and then you might go, you know what? I'm gonna go and I just need to go and exercise. I need to let it out. I need to let some steam off because I'm not happy right now. And that might be your pattern to go to the gym. Another person's pattern that they've become accustomed to might be a thought that says, you know what? I love my life. I love my life. I live an amazing life. That creates a feeling of great peace and calmness. That peace and calmness might trigger another thought. I feel like I can challenge myself today. I feel like there's something I've been wanting to learn, and I feel so calm and relaxed. I'm going to learn it today. I feel in a very strong state. I'm quite calm. Those thoughts might trigger a new feeling, one of optimism or positivity or strength or happiness. That happiness might trigger a new thought that goes, not just this. I mean, I've been meaning to phone this person or that person. They needed my help for some time, and I found myself too busy. I'm going to give them a call. And that makes you feel empathy. And to feel empathy, like, you can't be selfish if you're feeling empathy. Does that make sense? Because you're putting yourself in someone else's situation. You're experiencing how they're feeling. People feel empathy better and more strongly when they're in a strong state. When they feel calm, happy, loving, supportive, these sort of things. So that empathy can stimulate another thought. I'm a good person. I do the right things. I deserve happiness. I deserve success. I can give more. And that produces a new emotion, that one of joy. You think, I'm so joyous. I feel so energetic. I'm going to give to charity. That's right. I'm going to start a new charity, or I'm going to give a little bit more to this charity I've already been supporting. It's time to step things up. Next thing you know, you'll find yourself productive. You're like, oh my God, it's only noon and I've done this, that and the other. Oh my God, these are things that I've been putting off for one reason or another, procrastinating. And now I'm doing them all. Why? Because you've got positive thoughts that produce positive emotions. And this is how it works. And I'm here to ask you, kindly, to reflect upon your patterns. And I'm not saying it's easy for you to identify all the patterns you go in, but we all know what happens for you to take action. You should be able to understand how you kind of manipulate yourself, coax yourself in order to behave in certain ways, do certain actions, and so on and so forth. Because we have to understand where we're coming from when we do this. And you might want to start to break down why. What happens? Are you thinking of certain memories of the past? Are you contemplating your future, and that's what giving you the energy to really do nice, positive things? Are you living in the present moment, which enables you to be detached from your ego and really calm and serene and really present with whatever you're doing? Start to break down your processes, because unfortunately a lot of people won't admit that they're living by these kind of feedback loops, these kind of negative thoughts, negative chemicals, negative behaviors, fueling negative addictions, lack of control, being chaotic, leading to mental entropy and chaos and all these sorts of things. A lot of people say that they won't admit it. Their egos prevent them from admitting a weakness or a fault or a blind spot that they just don't want to face. But most people live their lives like this because most people are living in chronic stress. And stress is a synonym and mitigation of the term fear. When you're stressed out, you're fearful. Okay? So drop serious knowledge. I hope you appreciate that in this video. If you do, head on over to my website, man, at www.alexgem.com. There we go. Just click where it says join PHS today, enter your credit card details. You'll gain instant access to my mind-blowing, revolutionary course, The Power System, taking you from wherever you are in your life to where you really want to be, step by step along this journey. You're going to have videos, the written word, audios. You're going to have worksheets to complete for every single segment. Like, this is detailed, this is meticulous, this is serious. It's going to make you smarter. It's going to improve the quality of your lifestyle. You're going to learn and develop a growth mindset. You're going to be able to shift and change your perspectives. You're going to live more abundantly, more healthily. You're going to change your habits. You're going to implement better quality routines. Speaking of routines, go get my free ebook at my website as well. 10 Steps to Excellence. You're going to love it. It's excellent. If you're watching this video, by the way, that course that I was saying about, and I've also thrown in there 3 amazing bonuses, hours of exclusive video footage, podcast material, and 100 audio segments to keep you on track, to keep you bettering yourself. The whole package is worth $1,200, but I'm not charging anywhere near that. I want to make it affordable to you because I genuinely want you to invest in me and therefore invest in yourself. Come, join me, get the course, enjoy the course. Don't just go through the course once and then put it aside. Never again. Well done, Alex, but no, not again. No, you need to revisit this material to indoctrinate yourself, to change your habits, to change your routines. Because that's how you change your life, by consolidating short-term memory into your long-term memory. And that takes repetition. It takes revisiting, revising, and constantly challenging yourself, okay? So start that process. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like it. If you're watching this on YouTube, you might want to hit the subscribe button, but also hit the notification bell, because every single week I release several videos such as this, but also episodes and podcasts that I don't launch on other platforms. So you're definitely going to want to subscribe, and I can't wait to work with you. I'll see you soon.